Welcome to AARP, Arizona Hispanic Connection. Educate. Celebrate. Connect. Arizona Hispanic Connection.
Welcome to Arizona Barrio Stories. This is Irma coming to you from 147 East Adams. Welcome. Thank you for being a part of this unique program. This place here, you have to come by. Yes, it may be hot outside, but come on down. They have air conditioning and you can shop till you drop. Today we have David Parra-Luna from AARP, Arizona Hispanic Connection. He has been giving us lots of information about finances. We don't want to get into any trouble with the finances we have, so he has been giving us some really good advice. Welcome, David.
Thank you, Irma. My pleasure. You know, it's interesting that it was very pleasant to hear that even people behind cameras have taken advantage of our conversations here. That was amazing. That is really good.
You never know who's going to be listening behind the cameras or behind the walls.
This is great.
Hey,
this is great.
We're doing something good.
Of course.
So what are we covering today?
Well, again, I want to remind folks that we're covering finances, and it's interesting that this is such an important topic, and the more we talk about it, the more we realize how important it is. It's tough to make the money, but we really have to learn some concepts, financial concepts, because if not, we'll make the money, and before we know it, it's going to be gone. So I think we do well to learn concepts.
It's easy to spend it.
That's right. Easier than to make it, definitely. Well, this program is a three-part program, as we have been repeating. It's budgeting, managing credit and debt, and saving and protecting assets. We already covered the budgeting, so we're in the credit and debt situation. We kind of said that the credit and debt are almost like two sides of the same coin. When you get credit, you get in debt, right? So last time we talked about reading the disclosure box.
The box that nobody reads.
The small print, right? So today what we want to do is talk a little bit about the credit score. Because what happens is that if we don't have a good credit score, then we're not credit worthy. So the lenders are going to say, let me see your score. Right? It's almost like at school, right? Are you a D student? Are you a C student? Are you a B or an A student, right? That determines, I guess, it tells in school that you were diligent, that you did your homework, this and that, right?
You're a big fluff.
Right. And so basically with credit, these three companies, bureaus, they do the same thing. They're like, they're monitoring our behaviors, and they give us a score. And we have always said that 700 or more is what we should shoot for. 700 points and higher, we'll be in good shape. And I mean, some people get 800. I don't think it reaches 900. It's 800 plus is the max. So the first thing that I would like to us to kind of converse is, how is your credit score calculated? And though it's got 5 components, I'll mention them real quick. The types of credit that you use, the types of credit, it accounts for 10%. The new credit, every time you get new credit, then that involves 10%. And then the length of credit history. In other words, how long have you have been using credit? That's 15%. That's what's going to determine your grade. But here are the most important things. 35% payment history. So your payment history is what they're going to look into to see your behavior, right? Do you pay on time, etc. 35% of your credit score is going to be based on that. And 30%, almost close to that 30%, is the amount that you owe. The amount. And we've said in the past that if you have like a $7,000 credit limit, you don't want to get too close to the 7, because that's also going to, remember, The score says, you know what, this person has a lot of credit open. So potentially they may get in trouble. They don't like that, so they lower your score. So you have to be very balanced in not having too many credits open. You know, we said that sometimes you can open credit with low interest rate to pay a credit card with high interest rate. That could be a good strategy. You'll lose some points, but not too many. So that is basically an excellent kind of concept to have when it comes to the credit score situation. It's got percentage in this particular arena, so it's very, very important. Any thoughts on that from you?
Well, you know, it makes me think when I'm young and I'm just out of college and all these offers you get in the mail for credit cards and, you know, things that you don't look at, whereas years later you think, well, I don't need that credit card, you know, and so good advice.
And you know, let's face it, today, in the last maybe 1 year or so, it's been less because you know how they've been raising the interest. But prior to that, companies really want people to get credit cards because that's their business, right? Their business is for people to get credit, and not just so they can spend, but their business is to charge interest. So we just have to know how this, if we can call it, game works, right? It's like a game. Here's the money, spend it. But then they want to make money on interest. So you just have to balance both things.
And they don't tell you that when they give you these forms.
Right.
It's like, oh,
right.
take out this card.
So paying your credit card monthly is a good thing for you, not so good for the lenders, right? So again, we just have to learn how credit works so we use it in the best possible way. I have a list of do's and don'ts that I would like us to kind of review, and I'm going to just read the do's, and then the don'ts. Number one, do shop around for the right card. It's important. Some people just grab whatever card. No, you have to know whether there's a charge to have the card. I've said in past shows that I have a card that charges me $90 a year just to have it. Why do I have to pay that? Because I can, with money that I spend, I accrue flying miles, and I have taken flights almost free of charge. That's one option. Then not so long ago, my kids, they were kind of bugging me, quote unquote, Dad, you should get this cash rewards card. You know, it's just, I'm fine with the miles. They convinced me. So guess what I did? We got a credit card with our bank that now is a cash rewards. So once the year that I just paid is over, I'm gonna have to switch that credit card. And here's something, I'm not gonna cancel it, because it is not good to cancel credit cards if they have a history, a lot of history of you making payments with that credit card. Not good to cancel it. Maybe you don't want to use it, and make sure you're not paying a monthly fee for it, but don't close the account, because that will damage your credit score, because most of the history is in that credit card. Very important.
Interesting.
Do keep track of your purchases. Of course, right? You know, we get an email with my credit card. We get an email every time we make a purchase. So we encourage people to sign up for those kinds of services. Maybe a text message or an email. Every time you make a purchase, you get the email, and then you see, okay, gas, $20, perfect. So you know. And then, so do keep track of your purchases. Do know the minimum finance charge when you carry a balance, right? That means you didn't pay it when you're supposed to. You're going to carry the balance, and you have to know whether there's a minimum charge for that. There could be. Another do is do know what incentives or features you are signing for. That's because with credit cards, there's features that come with it, incentives, if you will. We just have to know all the incentives, all the fees, all the charges, all the benefits, the pros and the cons of a credit card. And as we always said, and just for anything, compare, right? Every year we're supposed to be comparing whether our car insurance, the home insurance, we can get something better. How do you know that? By calling another company and says, hey, here's what I pay. Can you beat that price? Kind of thing. So we have to do that. Now to the don'ts. Don't carry a balance if you can avoid it. Of course, do not carry a balance if you can avoid it. Don't pay bills late. Don't pay bills late. Don't use a credit card for purchases less than $10. This is a suggestion, not that anything is going to happen, but that will basically prevent you from spending just for anything, right? For small things.
Fast food.
Yes. You want to pay for things that are more than 10, right? It's important. It's more of a mental thing, right? But I've always said, if you're disciplined, most of the rules are not going to apply to you, or the suggestions or some principles. If you have good habits, you'll be over that. Or actually not over, but beyond that, because you just have such discipline and all that. So it's very important. Don't pay for any extras you don't want or need. It's interesting. When I helped my daughter buy a car, they were telling me about all the extras that if the paint goes bad and the tinting of the windows, and I says, wait a minute. I'm not interested in that, so I don't want that kind of thing. So we have to listen carefully what we're being told, and we have the right to say, you know what, I don't want that service. We have to be very upfront about it, and again, very informed of all the features that any credit card will bring. So now we need to come to 5 questions to ask before paying with a credit card. 5 questions to ask. 1, do I really need what I'm buying? It's a good question. Because, I don't know, do you carry cash, Irma?
Yes,
with
I
you?
do.
All the time?
Hey, wait a minute. I'm not sure I want to disclose that.
Because honestly, I don't. And sometimes I've gotten in trouble for not
And
doing
there's
it.
some places that don't take cash.
Yeah. So I guess it's okay to have some cash, but my point is that it's so easy to buy things when you're paying with plastic. You don't see it.
You don't feel it.
Yes. So that's why do I really need what I'm buying? Number 2, can I pay for this when the bill comes? Right? Because again, it's very simple to buy something, but then the bill will come. Right now you don't feel it, but it will come, right? Number 3, will I be happy paying for this on credit after the item is gone or the experience is over? Right? We use the card because we want to have an experience right now. I want something, I want fun right now. Well, will I be happy paying for this on credit after the item is gone? Right? Good question.
Goodbye, Hawaii.
Right. Choices, right? Everybody makes choices and it's up to people. But I think the headaches that you can save by planning, by budgeting, they're just many. They're just many headaches that you can save yourself, spare yourself from if you plan. Okay, number 4. What will it cost if I don't pay in full? Right? What will it cost? Because a lot of times, you buy an item and then the not paying to the principal, just the minimum, right? So people say, oh, my minimum is only $15 a month. Oh yeah, but that debt is over time, and the longer that debt is active, the interests are going to kill you in the very end. So you'll end up paying like twice or 3 times the cost of the item. So it's very, very important to ask these questions. What will it cost if I don't pay in full? And the last question, and we'll close this show with this one. Can I afford the monthly payments? Right? Again, this is that credit card is very useful, but it can create problems. Right now, today, the other day I needed to order something for my friend. He was in San Diego and I was over here in Phoenix. So I asked my son, please order this item and send it to this address. I'm not kidding you. The next day he had it. and we pay with the credit card. Very practical, right? However, we need to be careful because when you don't see the bills, it's very easy to use the credit card. And again, everyone is free to do what they want. But we feel that this kind of principles of financial concepts are very important because I have seen it many, many times in couples.
I was just going to say it destroys marriages.
It destroys marriages. Money is one of the things that destroy marriages. I think we've seen enough of that, or enough cases, and I think we need to take all these concepts very seriously because you may have a good experience now, but that may carry a big problem later. So we'll stop here. But these are basic concepts on credit cards, the credit score, how it's built, what contributes to your credit score, the do's and don'ts, and then these 5 questions to ask before paying with the credit card. We'll be showing them during the video. They'll appear on the screen. People can stop the video if they want to, and then they can maybe take a photo and just kind of consider them deeper.
Don't forget to mention the workbook.
Definitely. All this is part of a workbook that we are offering in a PDF format. If they go to aarp.org, they can do a search for it, and I will show you also on the screen, and download it. I mean, it's got way more than I'm sharing right now. This is just scratching the surface. But there it is, Irma. Again, one more topic on this matter of credit.
David, thank you for being a part of Arizona Barrio Stories. Thank you for giving these tidbits of information. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure, and we'll be back with more.
This is Irma from Arizona Barrio Stories. We all want peace of mind. When it comes to money, sometimes we may struggle with our situation. It's even helped our crew here. Thank you for listening. And you know what? We're going to be back soon with another piece of financial tidbits. Thank you to AARP, Arizona Hispanic Connection. Thank you to David Parra. And thank you for being a part of Arizona Barrio Stories. We will see you soon.